I didn't give him shit for it. I didn't give him shit. I was just like, New Yorkers don't do that. It was like,
you don't do that.
no, it was
So what I should have done was like look
form
at him, slap the baby out of his arm, and be
No,
like,
no.
"Have a nice day, sir."
it's the dad's job. Why can't he open the door for his own? Well, say it. Are you
Can you prove it?
shilling for Aries?
And if you ignore all the negatives and you only try to see it as 100% positive, you're lying to yourself because you have already a preconceived notion that I am shilling for a company because you just can't admit that you don't fucking like me, and there's nothing that's going to reason with you.
Yeah.
And if that's how you're going to try to judge me, then piss off. I don't agree with your opinion. No one's going to agree with that kind of dumb opinion. Look at who you subscribe to and be like, never mind, I don't have to take anything. Yeah. You're subscribed to Smosh. I don't care.
I was like, anything this guy says is already invalid. He's a furry and he sells feet pics. Nope.
God.
But somebody else commented back to him and was like, that's not even slightly true. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. Like that.
Yeah. Zulu patrons always fucking step in and
I'm telling you, dude. We have a company wide rule that's like, you never fight on the internet, and
We've only broken that once.
yeah.
Listen here, motherfucker.
No, well, our player base will do it for us.
Oh, yeah. You got to love that. And sometimes despise it if it gets too bad.
Well,
I was about to look for the thing on my chair to do that, and I was like, oh.
I'm special.
Spoiled.
I'm special. Are we good?
I got dreams and I'm different.
Our two topics were, what were they again?
No, we're going to talk about the Random Guy Kev Awards.
Oh, okay.
And how you took 3 categories.
Because I'm so special.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Let's see, you got
Congratulations. You
best-
won. Congratulations. You won.
You won a free iPad Nano.
You got best US based content creator, most knowledgeable content creator. You're the most knowledgeable, brother. And also best review video for your Navrich SSP2, SSP5.
There's a lot of people on Reddit that say that they're the most knowledgeable.
No, but no,
That was a joke.
The Airsoft community voted. and
Everybody on Reddit's always
no,
right.
it's Scott. We got to pray to Scott now.
Yeah, no.
We don't pray to the Airsoft gods anymore. We pray to Scott,
Yeah.
the Airsoft gods.
Someone looked up to somebody on Reddit?
I liked your review on the PP19.
Oh, yeah.
It's very digestible for players that don't understand the tech stuff. And that's a problem I run into because I'll get into the weeds. But you're able to say, there's 13-1 gears in here, and that's a good thing. I can't do that. I can't say things in a digestible manner like that. So that whole review was really concise. It showed it was a great gun. It was a good range test. You had fun with it. The gun's sexy. And even in the comments, what I noticed is you're writing your review for the gun, and then your fans, followers, whatever you want to call them, they're commenting being like, oh yeah, I got this gun too. Won't look back. Great gun.
Oh, yeah,
And now they're contributing to the feedback. It's almost like it's like the review itself is a collaborative effort. You're doing the main thing, right? And then having that support from your fan base is very helpful in kind of giving it some legitimacy, because when you see those good reviews on the website selling it, yeah, you know. You started your review going, I hate PP19s. I think I just don't like PP19s. Just letting you know. But
I love being able to do that. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't like this gun, but I'm going to show you why it still kicks ass.
yeah, no, and it is a really good gun.
There's
Really
a
good
clip
gun.
in here I wanted to show you, just in case you didn't
In
see.
fact, you have the PP19 right there.
Oh, yeah. So,
Is that a Barbie doll?
But I just couldn't find much to talk down on. By this point, I feel safe in saying that the LCT replication is obsolete in comparison to the Arcturus. And I would like to hear from anyone who thinks that I'm incorrect by saying that.
All right, well, whatever. Fuck you.
Was that stop motion?
oh yeah, it's from a series that my girlfriend was really into. It's a bit of a girl series, but it's just fucking hilarious.
Can
Like
you pull
Robot
out the
Chicken.
PP19 really quick?
Okay.
So when I'm sure the guns you review, there's a combination between you're either buying the gun yourself or the gun is provided to you for the review, or somebody's letting you borrow the gun for the review or something. So like, what was is something wrong with the gun?
Oh, the stupid buttstock screw is loose.
No.
Just the very rear of it, so I was looking for something flat.
Yeah.
So what?
well, the screw got loose on the gun. This gun
Yeah.
sucks.
it's just-
You got a single loose screw on this
It's
stuff.
fucking,
This gun
0 out of
fucking
10.
sucks. 0 out of 10. Yeah.
Anthony's ADD just kicked off with that
Well,
screw.
well, I saw him.
Yeah, it ruined you. It ruined your line of thought
Yeah. Because I'm so geared to like fix guns.
to not be able
You
to
know?
finish the sentence. That's what you're geared toward. Now go.
So in the case of this gun, was this sent to you by Arcturus? You did. Okay. Now, were you able to choose which one you got?
Yes.
That's cool. Do you think that causes any bias in your reviews?
I believe it does, but wherever it matters, I try to keep all that out as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I do my reviews in a way where I talk to the manufacturers and be like, hey, I'm going to do this 100% like what I think about it. You're not going to be upset about it. And they're like, no, as long as it's not a lemon, you're not going to judge us on something stupid and it's all fair. It's fine. It's like, I'm looking for stuff that's wrong with it that you guys can change in the future too. And that'll make it an even better product if it's agreed upon. Yeah, that's always great. And a lot of companies love that.
Do you find that's more the case now than when you first started doing reviews?
Yeah, because you'd be a nobody when you're starting off and
Well,
people don't take you very
Well,
seriously.
do you think the companies also are more receptive to that feedback now than they
Mhm.
probably were 5
Oh, yeah,
years ago?
absolutely.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, that's such a
Because
beautiful
now they
thing.
know that the community can dictate if something fails and doesn't.
Right.
Have you ever had a company ask for you to do a gun review or product review and just kind of like, in my head, they like slide over an extra $100 bill and they're like,
Oh.
you're going to love it, right? Like,
I've never. There's a lot of weird conspiracies.
Yeah.
and ideas of like, oh, I know how it really works. Like everybody thinks they know how
Yeah.
like this stuff works. No, that never happens because they know if that shit got out there, it would really backfire.
on everybody. It was
Like,
backfiring on everybody.
Like, could you imagine if I'm just like an example, if LCT did that and like that reviewer came out and like, yeah, LCT tried to blackmail me for positive reviews.
Ugh.
That would screw them hard.
Yeah.
Because LCT can't control what happens after that.
Exactly.
You know?
No, that stuff never has happened. I've been asked to do certain reviews that I've flat out like said no to just
Mhm.
because like one of them was distasteful, honestly, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And I did get asked to make a video over why one specific gun was better, like with the preconceived notion that this is the better gun.
Yeah.
And I said no to that.
It was like a brand attacking another brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said no to that. And I mean, even literally, if all the companies, like all the manufacturers, if they all said they will never supply me with an Air replica again, because let's say all of them hate me all of a sudden.
Yeah.
None of them want to no G&G stuff ever again, no LCT, no ICS, blah 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 blah. I got Evic, dude.
Yeah.
Like if I want to review anything, I will.
So now, are you on terms with Evic where you can just walk in the store and be like, "Hey, can I borrow this for a minute? I just want to go do a review of it."
I almost always want to. Well, yeah, I want to keep everything I do a review over because it's not like I want to return any like used
Sure,
shit,
yeah.
because that makes no sense.
That means somebody else gets
Exactly.
Shit, yeah.
Is Evic Matt nice in person?
Yes. But within reason, I always hate asking for anything.
Yeah.
It always causes problems but I hate asking for things. But yeah, I could go in and be like, hey, I would like to do something over this. Is that all right? Yeah, sure, Scott. We'll have it sent to your place. No problem. And yeah, it's very easy. Never had a problem with it. So they give me total freedom to do anything I want. So people are just like, well, they pick out the best of that gun. So they make sure it absolutely works for you. And it's like, really? Okay. One word, proof. Show me proof.
Yeah.
Because I can show many different things that would prove otherwise, but you can't show me enough to prove that your idea is true. Because I've had multiple guns fail on me. I've had stupid stuff happen to me. I just did a Specna Arms video where one of them failed on me during the middle of a review. And I literally opened up the gearbox and I show that a screw is missing from the gate aster, I believe it was, that is missing to hold down the MOSFET to the shell.
Yeah.
Did they glue it in place?
No,
I've seen that.
it's just there.
Right.
So it caused a malfunction in it. The screw is missing. And they know about that issue and they were just stomping it out in the production line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a serious problem.
Sure.
So they let me do it. They're not censoring me. They're not stopping me from doing anything. There's no boogeyman in the background. There's no one holding money above my head telling me you better be good. That does not exist for the US Airsoft channel. Now, I want to make it clear that doesn't exist for me. I don't have that kind of issue.
Yeah.
If I want to review something, I will review it. Even if I have zero support, I will get it done. I will find a way to do it.
Sure.
And it's not like I'm going to get a cease and desist if I say something negative. I've had multiple negative reviews. One thing I'd like to mention is I do notice that people will agree with a positive review on a certain product from certain people, but will not agree with a positive review on that same product from a different person.
Yeah.
And it also goes the other way. If there is a positive review from one guy and people don't like him, ignored. False, fake. That review doesn't count. However, if it's a completely negative review from this other guy, regardless of how much he actually knows or his connections to all sorts of different ideas and how the tech went into that or the background information or anything like that, because people don't like that product already, they approve of the negative review, regardless of performance range.
It's partially tech's fault, to be honest.
So,
like, APS stands for
yeah,
a piece of shit.
yeah.
I'm sure you've heard that before.
Honestly, the only APSs that I really like are their shotguns. They're interesting.
Yeah, it's partially tech's fault. So like VFC fanboy, right? There's between the techs that I would guess I'd say are reputable. Like they consistently put out good builds for people, and they really those guns work. And when I say work, I mean like they don't just function. I mean they kick ass. There's a bunch of people that do VFCs. All right, I've done builds where I'll keep the stock shell, for instance. There's other people that are like the shell broke, so you should never use it. But it's like a use case thing, so it depends. Some people will have a bad experience, and then that'll dictate, fuck this whole brand.
Yeah.
Especially like hop ups and buckings, right? Mainly buckings. It's like the most finicky thing to deal with when you're first learning how to put your stuff together. There's a lot of ways to do it and it not work. So there's like a learning curve where you can actually understand why it works and why it doesn't work. But then somewhere in that learning curve for a lot of people, because they're just fixing their own guns, right? They're not advertising their services as a tech. They'll hit that point in the learning curve where they like found a setup that works and they're really happy with it. And they're just like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the best.
You see it with Maple Leafs all the time. And they're not bad buckings, but like we had Tom on here. I don't know if we talked about those buckings here with Tom.
I don't think so.
I was talking with
Tom's
him.
was kind of an off the rails.
I was talking with Tom extensively this weekend about it, and we were just talking about buckings. And I was like, I'm not a Maple Leaf guy myself. I like to just R-hop things and choose the bucking that works best. But I was like, when you use Maple Leafs, like, how do you do it? Like how do you like to run them? Because you have to modify the lips. They just tend to be too long. That doesn't mean it's like overall bad. So there's like gray area. I try to be very gray area about it. There's a bunch of ways to skin a cat. I really try to be like that, except with APS. Because if you've ever worked on an APS with the intent of upgrading it, it's like if you want a tech, you have to have that experience at least once. There's other techs that don't. Negative Airsoft. He hates VFC. He's like, fuck VFC.
Oh, I've always thought though that like EU Airsoft, US Airsoft, and Asian Airsoft completely different.
They get different batches.
Oh yeah.
People in the EU.
Well, I mean, like the guns, the tactics, the power sources, the pressures.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
there's so much that's different that some brand that is held in high regard on one side can be completely shit on in a different.
And it's also a logistics thing because there are good batches and bad batches.
Yes.
And there's also shit that people at a certain retailer store might want to deal with or not deal with. So
and then there's also EU versions of certain guns. There's
Yeah.
a US version of the same gun.
People in the EU who might want to get something from a US store, they might get it from that US store. And then when it breaks, they're not paying to send that back.
And you got
the
another
store
thing too, part support too in
Yeah.
different regions.
Mhm.
If it has a lot of part support in the US but has no part support in Asia, they're screwed.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that with my feed block. There's people in Canada that want to get it, so I'm working on that. This is a niche part, right? I'm not like Laylax. It's not like that. It's not a big brand by any means. But like, yeah, you're right. Part support, the logistic thing I talked about. They're not going to pay to ship that thing back to the U.S. It makes no sense. They'll probably never see it again. And like, there's a conspiracy that those stores know about that, and they're intentionally sending the bad ones to the EU guys because they don't have to deal with that return with the US customers where the likelihood of them actually having to deal with it is higher.
You notice a lot of cynicism.
Yeah.
We're all setting everyone up to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just as planned.
I mean, that was, and I bring that up because I saw a negative airsoft video where he talked about that exact thing. Now he's got really strong opinions, and that's why people really like him because it's really entertaining to hear his opinions. But onto what you were saying before, I think techs are partially responsible for that.
Probably the biggest example I can point to when it comes to this is whenever I would do anything Novrich, if it was a positive review, I would get a lot of flack for it. If it was a negative review, then everything I said is 100% true.
Yeah.
I did a review on the SSG 10.
Yeah.
And I really liked that one. I really did. I really wish I didn't give mine away. It was a part of the agreement. And I gave mine away, and I was kicking myself. I really liked that thing. I didn't like the SSR 9. I had several problems with it, and a bunch of Air content creators had several problems with it. And the opinions were crazy. I had a lot of people saying that I was shilling out for Novrich because I had did a positive review on the SSG 10, but that I was an OG, that I was telling the truth on the SSR 9. It's like, who here is really honest? Like,
Well, everybody wants to be part of their bubble, and they want to be justified by the verification that they're in the right bubble, right? So
me trying to do an Aries review is going to be hell very soon. I've got one coming up. Like I've got a review on the Aries Car 98K.
Oh,
And I have a lot of problems with their AEGs, but their spring powered stuff, I seem to do very well with them. I don't know why. They're picking out the best one again. That stupid conspiracy.
I like the Amoeba Sniper.
A lot of people do, and a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
it's like a divided thing. No one's like, oh, they're okay. It's always positive or negative.
Like,
but
the thing that makes me like a gun is different than the average airsofter because I know anything that is any shortcoming, I'm just going to fix it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to upgrade it or fix it. And you're reviewing your content on the basis of the worthiness of the gun.
Yeah.
You are a player. It's $600 for this gun.
Is it worthy for what it's supposed to be doing in the first place?
And that matters
with the cost and
that matters because there's players that like they really don't give a fuck about their gun shooting 30 RPS, having that response. They don't care, especially like CQB players. They don't need our hops, man, for a lot of indoor places.
No, if you can hit accurately at 100 feet, you're probably going to stomp in most CQB situations.
Yeah, like save your money, spend it on like your knee pads or something, like so you can slide around. I don't know. There's things that are more important for different situations.
Whenever I put out this Car 98K review at some point, I know it's probably down the line. There's going to be, I can already tell it, there's going to be dumbasses in the comments who are like, he's just shilling for Aries. It's like, prove it.
We'll say it. Are you?
Can you prove it?
Are you shilling for Aries?
I got sent something that I asked for, and there are problems with the gun that I've already noted. It's going to be another USAirsoft review with its positives and negatives. And if you ignore all the negatives and you only try to see it as 100% positive, you're lying to yourself because you have already a preconceived notion that I am shilling for a company because you just can't admit that you don't fucking like me and there's nothing that's going to reason with you.
Yeah.
And if that's how you're going to try to judge me, then piss off. I don't agree with your opinion. No one's going to agree with that kind of dumb opinion. So when it comes to that review, I'm going to say everything I find negative with it. I'm going to say everything I find positive with it. I'm going to test the performance and I'm going to split it just like however I've always done with every review.
Yeah.
Some people are only going to pay attention to performance. Some people are only going to pay attention to it for appearance. This is a like museum piece like a museum worthy piece.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't have swastikas on it. It doesn't have the eagles on it. I'm actually cool with that. I like it.
Yeah.
It's all steel. It's all wood, and it shoots. It's been doing perfect for the past like 5 or 6 months I've run.
Yeah.
So even when I make that review, even if I did it 8 months from now, it's like, hey, it ran perfectly for a year straight, but then this is what failed.
Yeah.
And this is actually easy to fix, or this part is impossible to find. That's where Aries fucked it up. Like those all get pointed out. You're not getting censored, scrubbed content to make a company look good because no one learns anything.
Sure.
And I always make a big point in every single one of my reviews, like for the past I don't know, like about past year at this point. Do not just watch me. People are commenting, I don't need to watch any other videos because you already made a video on it. So I don't need to pay attention to anybody else. No, stop that. Watch other people's content.
Yes.
Read other articles if you can, because quality control is a thing.
Yeah.
All because mine performed like 80% well doesn't mean that mine is the best out there compared to this guy's, or as the worst is compared to this guy. There might be some guy who had a complete failure out of the box, and then another guy got one who's also a complete failure out of the box. And then you start figuring out the quality control might suck. Or different people find different pros and cons, different performances. There's so much.
Yeah.
Do your
And
own
that's,
research.
That's good too. Like if they have other cons they want to add.
Exactly.
They have
People are going to
different
find different
experiences.
things all the time.
Yeah,
You
like
could tear this thing down apart for years, and some guy could just find some nifty little thing that you just completely overlook somehow.
yeah, man. Like I think there's like a deep need when you're doing research, and I think this is part of like that U.S. education system, at least from what I've seen. You so just want to be able to Google it and find the answer, and nothing is really always that simple. If USAirsoft is saying this gun shot really straight and accurately out of the box,
Or
it doesn't.
me.
Right. Right. But like if you are saying if I'm USAirsoft, I'm saying this gun shot really accurately out of the box. That does not mean that every single one of those guns is going to perform the same exact way out
Exactly.
of the box.
Every single airsoft
It-
gun's going to be different.
What it means is that here's one person, one dot on the data
Mhm.
who is reporting back with positive feedback.
Mhm.
I mean, you're not
I'm not buying 10 of the same thing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
and-
test every single one.
but do you have like affiliation links and stuff? Like do you make any money from these companies selling the guns after your review?
Nope.
So like what incentive would
And
you have then to fucking shill?
Exactly.
Chill.
And
Yeah.
I've gotten the things where it's like, well, you shouldn't be paid by them or
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
doing the
It's like I'm
job.
doing something that's going to make them sales and you want me to make nothing from it. I've had people tell me that I should explain how much I've been paid for certain things. It's like, okay, now you're diving into this is none of your damn business.
Yeah.
Because
Show us the tax returns.
Well, look, God only knows what like people on Reddit will do with that. If you had to do that
Exactly.
for every video, they're going to start piecing.
there's
together.
going to also be a lot of other YouTubers
They're
that
gonna
are going
piece-
to demanding numbers.
Well, they're going
Yeah.
to piece together how much you make a year, and like
exactly.
I-
And you're going to cause hell like that.
back to the swatting thing. People can be really fucking evil, right?
Yeah.
Like that's personal information.
Like
That's
like literally I have people that you went to high school with that think I'm a multimillionaire. And
it's that Millennium Ring, bro. That shit's
Yeah.
bling.
like literally they see like some like what they think is big numbers on YouTube and they think I'm a multimillionaire
yeah.
and they're fucking pissed about it. And nothing I say about it will change your opinion about it.
What do they have to be pissed about? You put in a lot of hard work, time,
Why do
dedication.
you deserve this? Why
Because
do
you did the work.
Like,
That's why.
In middle school and high school, I was always like paying attention to like content and
Yeah.
like perfecting different things and filming and all sorts of stuff like that while everybody was partying and all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff. And I'm not trying to be like I was the kid that paid attention and I deserve this kind. Not that kind of stupid shit. But like I was a high school kid. People hated you.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, a high schooler going through drama. Wow. So the people who didn't like you in high school now see you as, in their mind, a multi-millionaire YouTuber. It travels the world and does anything he wants and has everybody lick his balls. Like, of course, everybody's gonna fucking hate you more.
We didn't lick his balls.
Not for this episode.
Yeah.
No.
So
It's
of
next.
course that like everybody
that was part one.
like the people who already didn't like you are gonna hate you so much worse now.
Yeah, like
It's just envy, really, is what it is. I mean,
it's
just
envy.
envy.
I don't think you should. I mean, it's probably hard for you to not pay attention to that.
I
'Cause it's
pay
probably-
attention too much to negatives. I always
Yeah,
Oh, you're human.
well, and it
Yeah,
takes
you-
a little bit of negative to fuck you up when there's a lot of good things.
you can have a million positive comments, but that one stupid negative comment.
Well, look, and there's an overarching belief
Just say
in
it's
America.
A joke.
There's this postmodern belief that any ounce of success that somebody makes was done at the expense of somebody else.
Or any kind of seriousness is cringe.
Yeah,
I hate that one too.
any type of seriousness is cringe. Any type of comic relief or attempting to not be too serious is cringe. You know, like some people would say that wearing that mask while playing airsoft is cringe.
Oh yeah, and I've gotten that a lot.
We got to talk about that.
And I just say get
we
fucked.
got to
like,
talk about the mask action.
I'll wear whatever I want. So
Yeah.
I like whenever you start directly paying all my bills, then I'll answer to you.
Dude,
I will pay all your bills if you stop wearing that. I'm kidding.
No, that mask is horrifying.
It is. If I was playing a night game and you came around a corner, like I would see the nose before I see anything else. The nose would come out before the muzzle of your gun.
I've legitimately had people come around the corner and they'll see this. I'm like, holy fuck! They're over there.
Yeah.
What is it? I met a guy named Joel, and he does a account called 6Lobo6, and he makes basically replicas of some of the most popular first copies of Chris Finn's masks from Slipknot. He was one of the percussionists, number 3. He left for multiple reasons that a lot of people don't really particularly know about, but people pretend that they know about.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody's a fucking
Especially with music.
Oh yeah, everybody knows, but nobody knows.
Yeah.
So he made this piece for me, and I wanted to incorporate this into a loadout because I was thinking like a mix of like horror with twisted metal black depressing themes for a loadout.
Are you okay?
So I wanted something disgusting, so I picked like the worst. I just took it off, but I picked specifically the one from the Iowa record. I forget what the word is. Era.
Yeah.
Because it's like he used Chris used the same mask from their first album all the way up into a next album, while everybody else switched masks several times, but he kept the same one for a long period of time. And this mask got so nasty and rusty. And these guys were, they were younger, and they were doing drugs. They were all drinking and stuff like that. They were vomiting in these masks.
Oh.
They were being disgusting, these masks. So like I've seen photos of the other side on the inside, and it's just all black and brown.
Ugh.
So
Smelled great.
oh yeah, I'm sure. So this thing, like the nose had ripped off, so like mostly, and just stitched it all back together. All the rivets ended up getting rusted. Straps got ripped apart, and
that was made to replicate what the real
yes, so
authentic
much so
mask turned into.
like there are certain rivets that are missing here, and like the detail is amazing.
Yeah.
And people look at this and think, wow, how old is that thing? It's like it's made to look how old you think it is.
Yeah.
So I want to pursue more of these like different special loadouts. I like when people act really unique, and I'm trying to make a mask from the Scary Movie. I think it's Scary Movie 1 when they were parroting Ghostface. But I'm trying to get like one of the what's up like masks with the tongue out and everything. I tried one on during a convention. They were selling like 2 different versions: a normal Scary Movie Scream parody mask, and then the one where it's like he's all stoned out, so he's like all squinty eyed and super smiling.
So you wear eye pro under that.
Yeah.
And then
But for
do
those,
you
I
also
couldn't.
do mouth protection, or do you just
Trying to get that kind of stuff to work with those types of masks is the problem.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get that what's up mask so I can see if I can wear my mesh mouth protection underneath it and very low profile revision goggles, and it won't like look like super bulged out or look stupid like that. And I can use them no fogging, because the revision goggles I have now, they're starting to fog a little bit more and more.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to replace those at some point. But there's so many holes in this that everything tends to breathe well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm never gonna go into a game without mesh something underneath.
Yeah.
I'm not losing teeth.
And can you explain how you got the nose to stick up?
Oh, I could actually probably take it out too. A lot of collectors consider, well, they'll do this whenever they put them on display. So without what I have inside of it, the nose will droop down.
And that's not Quagmire. You need it to stick up.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I can. Yes, I can. So what we do is we stuff them. So without, the nose will just kind of droop down over time. So what we do is we take, this is actually kind of wet, which is gross.
Yeah.
I tend to clean this out a little bit so it doesn't start to decay really bad, because these will start to get really nasty.
Sure.
And it's gonna, we'll do this at some point. It'll just start to flake apart and just rot. It's all latex. So over probably maybe 2 years is probably the life on this.
Yeah.
If I don't do anything to treat it, but of course I'm cleaning it. So this is a sex toy. No, so this is literally a piece of metal clothes hanger and wrapped in duct tape, black duct tape and electrical tape. and I just
shove it in there.
I just bend it up and stuff because I want that like just upturn a little bit.
Yeah.
So to get this look, I just shove this in there, and then whenever I got the whole mask on, I'll just bend it up to what I want. So it stays in
Does
there.
the nose get in the way of you seeing?
No.
Like when you're like aiming
No, just like you would with your own nose, I blank it out in my brain. So
Well, I mean, you also like you did the black mascara, the Batman eyeshadow.
oh yeah,
right?
with the
And at the
face
end of the
paint.
day, you had me take some pictures of you, and there's a couple pictures where you can kind of see your eyes, and it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying, man.
I'll have because of the eye protection I use with this, you can't quite tell that I'm wearing it sometimes.
Yeah, that is awesome.
So I've had refs go up to me and they're like, "Okay, yeah, you're wearing eye protection."
Yeah.
Just I needed to make sure.
Yeah,
So-
it's great.
So are you a shill for Slipknot? Did they tell you to give a good review on this?
yeah,
No, I'm waiting to get the cease and desist.
Yeah.
And that's not even that's like an fan joke because damn, their lawyers are pretty hardcore with that kind of stuff. But I'm not making money technically, I guess.
Do you think their
I'm not
lawyer
trying-
wears a mask too?
It's just a big dollar sign mask. But no, I like a lot of their like OG stuff, like the self-title, MFKR. Iowa was one of my favorites. Still, the self-titled album was my favorite.
Yeah.
Which is pretty basic ass answer, honestly. But no, I loved all their early stuff. Some of the newer stuff, some of it hits, some of it doesn't. They've had some very interesting decisions amongst the band, but some people think that Slipknot's my favorite band. But it's
yeah.
not. My favorite band is Rammstein. But trying to make out a Rammstein loadout is not exactly going to work,
Right.
unless I'm on fire at all times.
You have to look like a season 2 villain in an anime if you want to do
Oh my
a
God,
round.
Till Lindemann is
Yeah.
terrifying motherfucker.
Dude, he's like,
If I told you, it's like, yeah, think of a bodybuilder.
Fucking anime. I don't know.
do you know?
I don't
No,
know.
but
Oh,
have
no,
you,
no.
Have you seen the lead singer of this
No,
band?
Till, he's like, if you show him a photo, I'm going to tell you, he was training to be an Olympic swimmer,
Good for
but got let go because he got through to West Berlin over the border, the wall when it was still up for porno. He
Oh.
snuck out of like the training for that to go get porn, and then they discovered that.
Oh.
And so think of what you think an Olympic swimmer might look: skin,
Yeah.
like skinny, but slightly toned and stuff like that. That is not what Till looks like. He's never looks like super skinny like that.
My favorite brand is 7 on Pump One. Oh,
He's
pretty new one.
yeah.
he's 61 years old, and he's still doing this.
Good for him.
All of them are like in their late 50s. He's the oldest.
Look at this guy. Like he's got some
He's a big dude.
he's got some weird powers.
Well, he's a performer, and he's performing.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean like in the context of like if he was an anime character,
Oh,
if he was a
come on.
villain, dude, like
I mean, I get what you're saying with that.
he's gonna be a hard boss to beat, man. Like he just has that like aesthetic.
It's just going to be that scene from I think it was like the Avengers where there's like the Iron Man's just beating the shit out of the Hulk. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man. So you've played Airsoft basically across the country, right?
Yeah.
Are there any notable differences between East Coast West or Airsoft, Texas Airsoft, Midwest Air? Like, are the player bases drastically different, or is the style different? On the West Coast, is it one way, but here it's different, and then in Texas it's this way? Like,
Well, I'll tell you, all the way in New York, y'all let more minorities players.
Oh,
No, I'm joking. No.
God.
People would say that like, oh, California is way more competitive. It's like, I've been to like a bunch of different places, and if they want competitive players, they get competitive players.
yeah,
I haven't seen like a huge difference. Of course, like when it comes to the entire world, I think of global like golden hotspots
Mhm.
for Airsoft. SoCal is definitely one of them.
yeah,
And then you got to think about what the aerosports are. I like to think that Texas is becoming a golden hotspot.
sure.
Then Japan, then Scotland, I would think at this point now. There's all those kind of things. I don't know what that would be for like the east of the United States.
Well, it'd be Zulu 24.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious.
Yes.
That's obvious.
So, competitiveness has always been the thing everywhere. Like playing at your field,
yeah,
it's very casual. It feels, and that's just how it feels like back at home in Texas. And if I go to a field in SoCal, I feel about the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't really notice too much. I don't notice too much difference in loadouts. Well, of course, whenever the weather accounts for it.
Yeah.
I don't notice anything different in the types of replicas getting used. In California, I've seen a little bit more diversity, but that just comes and goes.
Yeah.
So
As far as like different types of kits,
replicas that are used, I should have said.
right? So like less just M4s.
Yeah.
More.
I mean, I
more
saw.
Galils and
I have a video of some guys in what you would think are your typical CQB speed softers, and they got a SOCOM gear Barrett.
Nice.
So I have that on video from years ago. But no, I haven't noticed any big glaring differences. People say that Texas is like one of the nicest places to play. Like everyone's super nice. But then again, I hear about that in general when it comes to just Texas people.
Yeah.
Like I held the door open for someone yesterday, and you're
yeah.
saying that like, what the fuck are you doing, basically?
yeah, when we went out to eat, we got inside and he like took steps backwards
Oh yeah, because
to go back and open the door.
a family
for
had a
the-
baby, and I was all the way in,
You
and
gave- you
I
gave-
left to open.
I didn't
the
know.
doors
I
back
didn't.
up.
I didn't give him shit for it.
Sounds
I didn't
like
give him
you
shit.
did.
I was just like, New Yorkers don't do that. It was like
You don't do that.
no. It was
So what I should have done
it was
was
a
like
form
look
of-
at him, slap the baby out of his arm, and be
No,
like,
no,
"Have a
no.
nice day, sir."
it's the dad's job. Why can't he open the door for his own? No, that's the New York mentality. I feel like 'cause
I
nobody-
hold doors for people all the time, man.
Well, and the funny thing is, they didn't say thank you. They didn't even acknowledge.
no,
it.
that
No, they're
that
not
is
cool.
true. Did they?
Oh, did
Yeah, they said thank you.
There you go.
Oh, I thought you told
Anthony-
me. I thought you told me.
They walked out of the door and it's like, "You fuck yourself now." It's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what?
No, it was actually a way of praising you because I was like very gentlemanly. It was.
Yeah, but then you just made up a whole fake story because of like.
And they
Well,
took
well,
you out to the parking lot. And they
Well, no, that was when we were walking to the table. Now we were super tired.
That is also
we had
true.
just filmed the last episode of the podcast. Got like no sleep. Went to the field. There was a Gun Gamers game. We were just like swamped with stuff.
I'm
Then-
so I still feel so bad that I missed it.
It's all right.
Oh, it's not a big deal.
We drove to the airport. Dave wanted me there so he doesn't fall asleep in the car.
Yeah.
and I obliged. And by the time we got, by the time we got you and got back, we were just shot. Like,
Yeah, I don't even remember hitting the pillow.
I didn't even hear what you said exactly. I could have sworn that you said like, oh no, they didn't say anything, but that was my own recollection. It's just a bad
I
recollection.
think
of it.
I think when we were there, my voice was a little fucked.
Also, Chili's was packed,
Yeah,
Every-
but they were still got a table
every-
immediately.
yeah, but we walked right in.
but like there was noise, there was background, whatever.
He's
Poor
just
recollection.
making excuses now. I can't.
Basically, I didn't listen to anything.
Humans have bad
Yeah,
recollection.
he's like, whatever.
Humans have bad recollection.
That's true.
Humans have bad ways of describing things. That's why you need multiple people to review the same gun
True story.
because humanity is fallible.
Way to bring it back.
It all
Yeah.
comes back.
Good save.
Yeah.
Good save. You see that?
It's
Man.
just true. I mean, you saw it right here. It's like
The glass vase was falling towards the ground.
Yeah.
He's
Now,
just like,
now with this segue,
Uh,
let's go ahead and make a hot take so we can get those clips. So fat people shouldn't be allowed. To
Oh,
airsoft.
damn.
No. Clip that, put that into a video.
stop doing something that'll help you get healthier.
The only way that hop up works is because the Earth is flat.
So if what you're saying is we put fat people into a big barrel with a nub and we put pressure behind them, we can give them backs.
if as long as the center of rotation is their center of mass and it's of a good proportion to the velocity and the X direction with which they're going, then you should see a Magnus effect, assuming that we're not neglecting wind resistance.
Rotund are we talking?
They have to be pretty.
It's more proportional.
They have to be
though.
very spherical.
Ah.
Yeah, their center of gravity needs to be like physically their center. Of
So how many
gravity.
fat people do you think we have to test this on to get our
I
accurate?
think start right here, baby. Or training up. No, man.
Anywho,
I think
Yeah, right,
I think
that
I
right.
think it's really
Now that we're canceled,
no. I think it's like stupid to be like fat people shouldn't play.
no, I was just fucking
Yeah.
with you.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I know that's not your opinion. You were making fun of people that think that.
well, that's like making fun of a fat person at a gym.
Yeah.
Like they're there to better themselves. Like,
Yeah. Oh, look at you, jacked. It's so easy for you to go to the gym. You already feel great about yourself.
Yeah.
Like you already went through like this guy started fucking give him, I don't know, fucking don't clap for him. That might be patronizing. Hey, look, he's on the treadmill.
you made it.
I would be
or just
the-
fucking leave it alone, right?
I would
Yeah,
be
you
the-
just fucking leave it alone. 'cause
I
I
would
don't
be
know.
like the NPC in the background, just like
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We had hot takes on a previous podcast talking about AMS Arsenal that we went to.
They weren't that hot, man.
No, I know they really weren't, and anybody who thinks that it was, they didn't listen to the whole thing for sure. We're talking about the attrition rate of the game and people who they were just not fit enough to do it. That wasn't to shame them for being fat and not do it. The critique I had at that time was like, the numbers did drop because of this. It's just going to happen.
I apologize for this detour that I
No, it's
now
fine.
caused.
Now we're just digging out of the hole. We're just digging out of the hole.
Dig up, Anthony. Dig up. No, well, there was a lot of factors with that as well.
Yeah.
It was like 90 to 98 degrees with 140% humidity, if you can imagine
where
that.
people still
It was bad.
and people still chose to like drink
yeah.
in
so
like
it was bad.
play, not drink water, and then drink alcohol.
Actually, though, I don't remember any like heat cats. Oh, fuck no, Ethan.
No, there were heat gases. There were heat gases.
Yeah.
Any airsoft,
But that's not
piece
even
that's
AMS's
not a heat
fault.
casualty?
That's not even AMS's fault. That's just generally like, well, look, the just joined the military people, right? Airsoft is not that, and people are not trying to pretend to be that. People are just normal people, right?
People.
And they
People.
people. Hey, Peter. It's me, Joe Swanson. I'm paraplegic. This is normal people playing,
I
right?
got no legs.
People don't train for an airsoft event the way that like the military would train for a fucking deployment. But if you think about it, you're still running around with this gear on in the heat. You're still. I'm not comparing it at all.
It sounds like you are.
To
but
that.
Let's keep going.
But they're basically mini field training exercises, and it's a
Yes.
physical exercise. It's a physical activity, and not everybody's prepared for that. And people should be prepared for that because I mean, this is just a game. There's things in life that are not a game. There's this video of this dad.
Anthony, where are you going, man?
Where?
Where are you going?
Dude, I'm still running on no sleep and hatred. I saw this video.
How
of
did we
this-
get from shooting fat people out of a cannon with a nub?
It's so important to take care of your health.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, good.
Like
There you
you
go.
owe it to your kids.
You wrapped it up. See,
Yeah.
this is what happened, right? So, like, there was a vase,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it wobbled and it fell, and you caught it out of the corner of your eye, and you did like some dad reflexes to catch it, and you caught it, and you were like, "Guys, look, I caught it!" And
Now
then
I can throw it on the ground myself.
And then you fucking dropped it. Oh God, you're like the kid in Goonies who breaks the dick off the statue. I bet you thought I was gonna drop it. Boom.
Oh God.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this
Sorry.
one up. No, you're fine. Scott from US Airsoft. Thank you so much for coming out. Where can people reach you out as if they don't know already? Like,
So I have a Pornhub account.
You probably are still monetized on that if you are.
Probably much better than YouTube is.
so everybody head on over to
US Airsoft on
Airsoft.
YouTube
Yeah.
and US Airsoft on Instagram, which you have to type in very specifically. It has to be USAIRSOF. Won't show it yet. T. Now it'll show it to you because that's how Instagram plays their game. Instagram is not your friend.
Good thing you chose an excellent name for your throwaway account for just dumping footage.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
Funny enough,
Your
I
photo
had-
dump account.
I had to actually find the guy who had US Airsoft, and he gave it to me.
Oh,
So
shit.
he said that he wasn't using it at all, and I just sent him a message and an email, and he was like, "I'll buy it off you." And it's like, "No, dude, you can have it. I'm actually a fan of yours." I'm like,
Roger that.
You earned
"Awesome." He was basically holding on to the domain for me.
Good for him.
it. You
Well, good for
fucking
you.
earned it. You earned it, man. You work really
I
hard.
sent him dick pics, so he's happy.
Still
They're
working.
exclusive.
You're still grinding.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Scott, thank you so much for coming out. Anthony, we'll try to keep you on track.
I'm gonna get sleep tonight.
Good
I promise.
Lord, man. Guys, with that, good night. God bless. I'm out.
I lost all my sponsors in this episode.
No, you